we are exploring the topic of finding your passion, finding your purpose, whether hypnosis NLP can help with that. Hey guys, how's it going? This is James Tripp with a video for James Tripp Chaos Wave. We are exploring the topic of finding your passion, finding your purpose, whether hypnosis NLP can help with that. The question that has triggered this has come from Harry West, comes in on the comment section on another video. Harry asks, James, I've been watching your videos and I really like your work. I was wondering if you could help me use hypnosis or NLP to find my passion in life. I understand you don't know my situation, but I believe early on in people's lives, they get stuck doing what they're told by society or the media, and then get stuck in the 9 to 5 or the rat race. So first thing I'll say, Harry, thank you for the question, I appreciate that. You and I resonate on one strong level here, this idea about what I call cultural programming and how it sets our expectations for life. And it does often, I think, have us downgrade what we think is possible for us. It has us start to be reasonable and practical according to the rules about what is or isn't so, or should or shouldn't be, or what's right or what's wrong, that other people dumped into our brains when we were these sponges, desperate to put together an understanding of the world. And people often, they gave us their received wisdom, and their wisdom often isn't or wasn't that wise. So there's this question, find my passion, find my purpose. And can hypnosis, can NLP help? Can it help? Now, one of the things to realize when we're looking at cultural programming, cultural hypnosis, if you like, is that it's everywhere. We're always swimming through it. And even in the phrases, find my passion, find my purpose, these are organizations of reality. They're kind of common phrases. There's quite a lot of search terms. I already checked on YouTube for this. So there's quite a lot of people searching for these terms. They exist in the cultural psyche, so to speak. And they are organizations that are hypnotic in and of themselves. Because what's implied by find my passion, find my purpose, I think, is that there is something that exists whole form called my passion. This is my passion, this is my purpose, that is somehow there to be uncovered, to be dug up like buried treasure. And I don't think that it quite works like this. So I think the cultural ideas can already start pointing us a little bit off course when it comes to connecting with what we want. So these whole form passions or purposes that we think that might be there to be uncovered might be something like, I don't know, being a piano player. That's my purpose, to be a piano player. Or it might be being a personal trainer, or being a commodities trader, or anything, right? Like a whole form vocation or activity. So with regard to can hypnosis, can NLP help, I'm going to offer a slightly different structure. So you could call this a NeuroLinguistic Shift, if you like. My first one will be to say, if you're looking at a passion or a purpose as a whole form thing, a thing that exists, instead of trying to find it, look at creating it, creating your passion, being a proactive participant in the putting together of a thing that you love, that inspires you, that has you come alive. So that will be my first suggestion on a frame shift and neurolinguistic upgrade, is start looking at creating a purpose. Now, I love creation. The creation frame is a big thing for me. It sits very centrally in much of the coaching that I do, particularly the generative coaching work. The idea that we get to create, actively and creatively engage with life, create our lives, create ourselves, create the results that we get. We want to look at where we can participate, connect with our power to do so. So the thing is here, I'm going to recommend you stop thinking about finding your passion and start thinking about creating it, putting it together. What can you weave together that's going to just really work for you? So there's one neurolinguistic shift that I would offer around that. Another one that I would offer is, instead of trying to find your passion or even create your passion, is to think about connecting with passion. With passion, not your passion, just passion, okay, or purpose. So think of these things as archetypal human energies, for want of a better word. And I use that term poetically, not scientifically or not in any metaphysical way. But these archetypal energies, the energy of passion, where someone feels alive, they feel inspired, they feel lit up, motivated by something. This is a fundamental human thing. All human neurology is capable of this. It's part of our, archetypal presets, if you like. What it gets wired to in life, what fires it up is different for different individuals. But you can find this kind of inspiration, this kind of lighting up. You can find it in many things in life. You can find it in many things in life. And one of the keys is to start valuing it. Is to really start valuing it, because at least the way I grew up, in the culture that I grew up in the schooling system that I grew up in, that kind of thing was not valued. What was valued were things like hard work, knuckling down, doing what you're told, doing the right thing, all of this kind of thing. That was what was valued. Nobody valued inspiration. Nobody valued passion. Nobody valued any of those things. Nobody valued lighting up. Nobody valued excitement. Those were pushed away as frivolous things, all part of the programming, but they are not. They are fundamental human energies, metaphorically speaking, and they are, in fact, if you look at people who are phenomenally successful, people that get remembered, people who live as creative forces in the world, they are held as drivers. So one of the things I would recommend you do is start tuning into this. Start tuning into connecting with passion, connecting with purpose. Start looking for it. And sometimes you might want to do a little bit of personal archaeology. What I recommend is going back to the time before the conditioning kicked in too much, because all kids can connect with passion. All kids can connect with what lights them up, with enthusiasm, with excitement. They can connect with these high vibration states. They do it all the time. They do it in play. They do it when they watch movies, when they watch TV shows, read books, anything that captures their imagination. I love that phrase, capturing your imagination. How much do you value having your imagination captured? If it does get captured, how much are you willing to bathe in that, blow on the embers of it, have it light up even more? Because this is a key thing. Most people don't do it. They've been taught that it's not important, so they push it away and get on with the real serious business of life, right? And this is one of the things that gets in the way. So if you go back, think back, take time thinking about the games you used to play, the movies you used to watch, the TV shows, stuff that had you come alive, activities that you used to do. What was it about them? How did you feel? Start doing a bit of detective work around there. Start seriously considering bringing some of that back into your life now. Bringing it back into your life now. Because this is the thing that's going to rekindle you in terms of your passion. Now, when you do this, it's going to be challenging. One of my central tenets, as I've mentioned before, is live as a creative force. Connect with creativity. And creativity or creation is driven by inspiration. It's driven by high vibration states, these sorts of things. But when my own experience of choosing to live this way is, as soon as I connect into this, there's always this stuff going on in the background. I call it the tendrils, these old beliefs about what's practical, about what's sensible. They're like wrapped around my ankles. I want to swim free. I want to create a different direction in my life. I want to create newness. But the tendrils, I find them caught around my ankles again. I have to pay attention to that. I have to keep cutting those tendrils and reaffirming my new truth, which is the inspiration, creation. These are important things. They're not frivolous things. Play is an important thing. Play, because that's when the mind flows freely and puts together new possibilities. So, I want to share with you something here. It's from a book called The Wonder Book, The Illustrated Guide to Creating Imaginative Fiction by Jeff Vandermeer. Now, I'm not a fiction writer, by the way, but I am interested in creating. Okay, I'm interested in creating, I'm interested in personal narrative. All these things are connected. We think we live in the world as it is, but we don't. We live in our stories about the world. And if you want to become more empowered in your life, you want to become better at creating more useful, inspiring, exciting stories about yourself and about your life, things that inspire you to show up and engage and live into in different ways. So this is why I kind of range through different source material. I want to share a little bit from the chapter Inspiration and the Creative Life. So the bit that I want to share with you here is write what interests you. The received wisdom in many books and online articles is to write what you know. The problem with this advice is that what you know may not interest you, just as what you're talented at may not interest you as a career. You can always find out what you do not know, but you cannot fake that spark of curiosity that comes from being interested in something. So what this is pointing to is received wisdom about what you know, what you can do, what you're capable of, being in the driving seat, letting that go and connecting with what interests you, connecting with inspiration. This is the thing. You've got to get in touch with this first. What that filters through and becomes, you do not get to know ahead of time. To borrow the quote from Steve Jobs, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, only looking backward. Speaking personally, much of my life involves coaching people, creating educational programs, this kind of thing, helping people open up their minds, move their minds, shape their lives. I had no idea this is what my life would end up being. All I did was follow the sparks that had me come alive, so to speak. And that's what I would advocate for you. And one of the most powerful places you can do it is to go back as far as you can before the old programming took hold. Start connecting with things. Start looking for it in your life. And the number one piece of advice here is start valuing it. Value inspiration. Value what has you come alive. Stop thinking pragmatically about whether it's sensible, whether it's realistic, whether it's whatever. Follow whatever excites you and make space in your life for that. Because if all you're ever doing is nose to the grindstone, working, you're not going to get that come through. The old Mars slogan used to say, a Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. Work, rest and play. They're all equally important in life. Mars bars are not. But work, rest and play, they are all of equal value. But our society tends to value work. A particular kind of work, sacrificial work. There's a whole set of mimetic concepts that suggest that, if you're enjoying your work too much, it isn't even real work. So our society overvalues work. Rest and play are important for connecting with passion, excitement, that which has you come alive. Okay, so I don't know if that has been useful, if it's answered your question, Harry. If it's opened up some thoughts, some ideas for you, make sure you hit like on the video. If you've got any questions about this on the same subject or going off at a tangent, make sure you use the comments section below. And if you're looking for more rich perspective, deep perspectives you will not get anywhere else on using your mind to shape your life, make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications bell. So until this conversation continues, keep on using your mind to shape your life.